Welcome back, folks. I promised you guys a cut and buff video on this truck. Unfortunately, the lighting's really bad. It's white. It's hard to see. But this is the best angle I can pick this run up at. If you look just underneath the mirror right there, and I'll get my finger next to it, there is a sag that runs above my finger and up into here. Now I've taken the rest of it out just to see how much work it'll take to get rid of it. And I did work on this a little bit and thought I had it, but I didn't. So this is a piece of a paint stick with a piece of 1500 grit wet dry. This is the Meguiar's Unigrit. It is made by Nikon. It's pretty good paper. Got a little squirt bottle, and I'm not going to get real crazy with this because it's real close to that body line. There's 2 coats of SPI Universal Clear on this. The rest of it, I did some test spots. It buffs up really pretty easy, but I want to show you guys how to get rid of this. Now, I'm going to have a real hard time seeing it without blocking the camera, but basically, we're going to run this paper over it a little bit. I'm going to dry it off, and then I think maybe you'll be able to see it a little bit easier. It's a shame that I put this kind of run in it, but this kind of stuff happens, you know, more often than not. You just don't hear about it. Let's got a microfiber here, and we'll wipe that a little bit. Let that dry off and see if that will, I think that might show you guys something. You might be able to actually see it now. Let's see if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Let's take the camera off the stand and zoom it out and see if it'll find it. But basically, it's going to leave a shadow. I think you guys might be able to see the edge of it, and it's really hard to see because basically in the paint video you saw me take my gloved finger and smash this down, so it's really pretty close anyway. Boy, the light is just, it's wreaking havoc with this white, but there it is. It is just there. You can see it down in the left, middle left of the screen. You can see that edge. And I'm going to take that 1500 grit on a stick like I have it there, and I don't think you can see it any better from this way. In fact, I'm sure it's worse. Yeah, you really can't see it. But to give you an idea of how it turns out, I did a test one over here and buffed it up, and this one is gone. I didn't cut all the peel out of the doors and all that. It's really not to the point where it needs that, but that's how it turns out. You might see a little wobble in it, but all in all, it's pretty much 98% gone. So I'm going to work on that one that way. And then the tools I'm using, this you can't really see because it's all ripped up, but this is Menzerna Fast Gloss 400. Jeez, oh man, there we go, Fast Gloss 400. This is a first cut type of thing. Now you can use your wool pad, but what I'm using, because it's so close to that edge and I'm trying to be real careful with it, is I have this little Roots Bigfoot polisher. This has got like a 15 millimeter orbit. It's pretty big. And the green pad, they're blue heavy cut pads on this. All they do is dust up, and this is plenty to get a 2000 grit scratch out. So I will take the 1500 and knock the run out of it, and then buzz over it with some 200 and go to this, and I'll kind of show you how that turns out, and we'll get a little footage of that. The buffing process with a random orbital on something like this takes a long time. If you're confident with your regular rotary buffer and a wool pad, then by all means do it that way. But this is the way I do them, so I'll bring you back in a little bit. Alright, again, I want to apologize. This is probably one of my worst cut and buff videos because you can't see you really can't see where the run was. It was hard to see in the first place. But I've got the DA with some 2000 dry on it. This is the Kovacs Talacut system. I can't see any remnant of it. Maybe the camera picks up something, but I can't see it. I'll run this at slow speed and buzz that down a little, just to try and remove those 1500 scratches. Go a little farther. Just be careful around your edges so that you don't have any cut throughs there. Hope I'm not sticking my head in the camera's way, but that's pretty much as far as I'm going to go, maybe a little farther. That's going to be about it. So we'll go ahead and take that little mini polisher and get that polished up with some of that fast gloss. Now, if this is a dark color, you would probably go farther than what I'm going to go, but honestly, you're going to have a hard time seeing any swirl marks from an orbital buffer and this fast gloss. It just works really well for this type of stuff. This particular clear seems to be rather soft, even though it's set for a week. It was out in the sun for a full 12 hours one day. I'm just kind of smearing this around because I don't want to fling it everywhere. But you'll get the idea. This kind of stuff, you can watch somebody do it 1,000 times and pick up some tips and tricks here and there, but until you start doing it, it's hard to get a handle on what it takes. I'm sure this is not done, but I'm going to wipe it and kind of show you what it looks like. It looks like 98% of that run is gone, and that's about what we're aiming for. I'd love to get 100% of it, but it just doesn't always help. This spray is like an isopropyl alcohol type spray to check for haziness and stuff like that. It picks the cleaner up, or the polish up off there pretty good. Looks like I got to work on it a little more right there. But let's see if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can still see just a little ghost of that run. So we'll go ahead and I guess we'll block on it some more. It looks like it's gone down here, but down the door it's still couple spots I can still pick it up. Looks like it's right here and right here. Sometimes you have to buff them and figure out that you didn't get it all. So we'll just keep working on it with that, going back between the 1500 and the 2000. You could also put a piece of 2000 on a block at this point since you're pretty close, but the 1500 will cut it a lot straighter. The rest of it does appear to be gone. So I'll bring you back and show you the finished product. Basically, you're not going to sit here and watch me sand. It might take me 20 minutes to sand that and get a good finished product, but I want you to see it can be done. So I'll bring you back in a little bit. Alright, so I just had to go a little bit further with the sanding. I didn't have the run gone, but now it's gone. The only pitfall to doing this is any orange peel that's in the rest of the door will still be seen. So on a resto job, you're probably going to cut all that out, but this is a collision type job, and unfortunately it's going to have a little bit of a shiny spot in the door, but it's a work truck and it's all good. The run is gone and it's shiny. And you know, it's hard to believe that a little buffer like this can do it. It just takes time. There'll be plenty of people who tell you you cannot take out 2000 grit sand scratches with an orbital buffer. It can be done. It just takes a long time. And you use your little inspection spray. You can use isopropyl alcohol and a towel to get the polish off of it, to keep checking your work for scratches. But I mean, this one's good to go. So I'm gonna walk you guys over to the passenger side here. And basically I've got the same thing going on here. I had a couple of runs. You can see where I sanded into it to knock the runs out. You can still see light and dark. That's the orange peel in the door. There was a dust nib here and there that I took out. Nothing major. Another run here, another run there. Oh, there was a run down there and one over there too, but again, all you can see is the difference between shiny and dull paint where I sanded on it. So to be able to tell, you know, where the run was at, it was hard to see in the first place because of me smushing it down. It was so minor. That one on the body line over there, I must not have smushed it enough, or it was too dry once I started pushing. But you can see, I think, maybe. Okay, so right in here you can see there's a little bit of a run, and you can see my fingerprint marks through the glove where I pushed on it, and that has to get sanded out. So, you know, we're really not in bad shape here. We're probably about 2 hours from finish up on this, and then down the line here we'll put the grill, bumper, and new 2005 to 2007 style headlights in it too. So that's your video for this round. I spoke about the products. Here's that 2000 grit disc. Nothing to them. They've got sort of a dry lubricant on them, and once that dry lubricant wears away, they start to pill up pretty bad. If you sand on real fresh clear coat, they're just as bad as any other disc. They will start rolling it up and wadding it up in the disc. These guys right here, I've showed them before. These are the Cut discs or pads that go on these little blocks. Those are 3000 grit. Those work good for dirt nibs if you have small ones. If you have bigger dirt nibs, you have to use the pink, which are like 1500 grit, I believe. Excuse me, pink is 2000, black is 3000. They make a green one, but I think they eventually discontinued those. I'm not sure. But that's what I use. So to take out those dirt nibs, basically you just rub this across it. If they're big, I suggest you be very careful not to pick up that dirt nib in the paper, because you'll end up using that piece of dirt to scratch. One thing I found, a lot of guys don't like to use the DA sander on stuff like that for a couple reasons. If those discs load up, they say they pigtail, and really, more than anything, the dust can make pigtails, but what'll dig a deep pigtail is a piece of dirt. So you just got to be diligent and make sure you use an air hose and blow the dust off, and you know, get the dust off of your sanding disc. So my little cart here I have set up with the buffers. I've got the rotary, I've got the flex, and all kinds of different stuff. This is a Body Shop safe wax for fresh paint. It's breathable wax. This stuff right here, this body gloss, is a breathable like extra wipe down to get your compound crap off and stuff like that. Makes them look good when they leave, stuff like that. But there's the Menzerna SF400, the super finish. This is good for swirl marks and a final polish. Here's some Meguiar's polish that I use from time to time. Just kind of depends on the vehicle. Meguiar stuff works good too. I just really am partial to the Menzerna. So, all right, I'm babbling. I'm gonna let you guys go. Hope you guys all got something done in the garage this weekend, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.